What's up, everybody? My name is OMG, WTF, LOL, FTW, BRB. Welcome back to more Total Extreme Wrestling 2016. We are playing as the WWF in the year 2002. And we're booking the invasion angle, guys. And we are just 1 week away on our road to WrestleMania. You all know what that means. That means this entire week, Monday all the way to Sunday. I mean, I know technically a week starts on a Sunday, but Monday through Sunday, every single day this week, you guys are going to get a video in regard to the week of WrestleMania, the week of Invasion. We've got Monday, of course, with our first episode here of Monday Night Raw. Tuesday, Wednesday, I don't remember exactly what we're doing, but I know it's more of a too long, didn't watch kind of thing. Maybe not that. I think it was more of a what I thought of Invasion, like the real storyline and this storyline and what I would have done differently on Wednesday. I believe that's what we're doing. Thursday's Nitro. Friday, don't miss Friday, guys. Friday is a big deal because Friday we are going to be doing a live stream on Twitch. My buddy's Twitch channel, Zach Manzi, NVO. Definitely go follow. Click that little notification. That way you are notified when we go live on Friday. And, of course, whenever he goes live as well. He's good. He's good people, guys. You should check him out. But on that Friday, we are going to be doing a Fire Pro simulation of our WrestleMania 18. And during that stream, I'm going to be giving away 2, count them, 2 free code to Total Extreme Wrestling 2016. We'll be giving one away probably around the beginning. I might do like a little bit of a pre-show for like, you know, the Heat Summer or Super Show for people to get in, and then after Heat Super Show's in, we'll probably do one giveaway right there, and then at the very end of the stream, we'll do one last giveaway for Total Extreme Wrestling 2016. So you have 2 opportunities to win the game. On Friday, definitely check out Zach Manzi, NVO, over on Twitch. That's where we'll be streaming. And then Saturday, we're going to be doing a quick little Hall of Fame video along with the too long didn't watch video. I mean, this series is very long with hours and hours of content. One video, just, you know, for those of you out there who don't want to go back and watch all that hours and hours of content, I don't blame you. And then Sunday. Of course, we will have the Heat Super Show, but I haven't decided exactly what I want to do yet. Well, I'll announce it a little bit probably later on during the week as I'm, you know, thinking of what else I want to do, because I have one more Total Extreme Wrestling 2016 game to give away. We'll be giving 2 away over on Twitch. I'll be giving 1 away here on the YouTube channel, and like I said, I haven't decided exactly what I want to do yet for that. But it's going to be given away on Sunday, and I'll announce it most likely in the WrestleMania video itself. So keep an ear out for that, you guys. Keep an ear out for how to enter the sweepstakes. This is also being recorded in advance, so I haven't come up with everything off the top of my head. But enough rambling. I got out what I wanted to say. Let's jump right into this. Let's jump into what you've all been waiting for. The week of WrestleMania begins with the Raw before WrestleMania. Let's do this. I gotta take a drink before we do this because, well, a little parched already. All right. Of course, we got a couple pre-show matches. I'm trying to get a good look at some of our developmental talent as we head into our new season of Invasion. I guess you can't really call it Invasion anymore. But I did something different here. I actually put 2 developmental teams against each other. I originally didn't plan to do this, but I already had the Afternoon Express, that being Lash LaRoe and Evan Courageous, on my roster because I was going to use them for something else, but I changed my mind. So I figured why not just throw them in here. So we put the Afternoon Express against the Minnesota Stretching Crew, 33 E+ rating, and an abysmal pre-show matchup. The Minnesota Stretching Crew go over the Afternoon Express in 5 minutes, 48 seconds after Brock Lesnar defeats Lash LaRoe with an over-the-head, belly-to-belly suplex. Announcing apparently helped this match, as did color commentary. Shelton Benjamin with a 23 in-ring performance. Good lord, he's way behind Brock Lesnar. That's bad. Like, they're not even really close to each other. Lesnar with a 31 in-ring performance. Lash and Evan Courageous, both with a 40 in-ring performance. Good for you, Lash. I didn't expect you to keep up with Evan. Shelton improving in his performance, though, so either way, good stuff. We then move on to our next pre-show match, the WWF Women's Champion in action, as we have a 51 D+ rating here, and a pre-show bout that had terrible wrestling and non-existent crowd heat. Daphne goes over Gail Kim, one of our developmental superstars. Don't know if you've ever heard of her. After 7 minutes, 40 seconds with the Daphnes. No worker improvements. And then finally, on our main event of the pre-show, wow, the women's match did better. 45 solid D rating here. We have an abysmal pre-show match as the one, Billy Gunn, goes over Doug Basham in 7 minutes, 31 seconds with the Famouser. Doug, of course, pretty popular for being a part of the team of the Basham brothers, along with Danny Basham. I'm not sure if he's a part of the team yet with them, though, because he goes under the name The Machine on the developmental roster. I only made him Doug Basham here tonight because I figured, well, why the hell not? Let's take off the mask because it looks ridiculous. So, yeah. I don't know. I'll most likely end up having the Basham's team with each other, especially looking at his rating with a 20. We'll have to see how he does with, I don't believe they're actually brothers. I think they just so happen to look alike. I could be wrong, but yeah. Anyway, the one, Billy Gunn with an in-ring performance of a 20. Doug Basham with, I got those mixed up. Billy Gunn with a 52, Doug Basham with a 20. So, that's my bad. Billy Gunn also improving in his performance. Before I go ahead and click next, I'm going to take one more drink. Because, well, it's time to do some voices. And I hate myself, so we start off with Stone Cold, apparently. 100 A-star rating to open up the night. Monday Night Raw opens up right away with Goldberg's music going off, and the WCW superstar wastes no time making his way down to the ring. He grabs the mic right away, and he begins to speak, and he says, "All right, Austin, I'm here. So let's do this. I'm tired of the games. I'm not like these other guys. I don't care where it happens, but it's happening tonight. So quit wasting everyone's time already and get your ass down here. Don't make me come find you." So if you remember on Nitro, Goldberg, he don't want to wait. He's pissed. He wants his hands on Austin right now, pretty much for what Austin did to Sting and all that, one of his good friends. And he made the announcement, "I'm going to be here on Raw. You better be here." Unfortunately for Goldberg, Stone Cold is not here because the Titantron starts to go static before, the screen cuts to Stone Cold Steve Austin, who's already in Georgia, where WrestleMania will be held. And I believe, the reason I chose Georgia is because, WCW kind of, that was, their home territory. So I feel like it's the full circle to, put WrestleMania in WCW's hometown, kind of. So anyway, he's in Georgia, where WrestleMania is being held, and he begins to speak. He says, "Hey, Goldberg, you dumb bald son of a bitch. Did you really think I was going to show up on Monday Night Raw knowing damn well your homicidal ass was looking for me? Hell no. I figured I would get a head start and get to Georgia sooner rather than later. Gotta start getting ready for the big day, am I right? But you know what, Goldberg? You still don't get it, do you? You see, you still think this is about the Royal Rumble. Well, yeah, I'm still pretty pissed about that, I won't lie. But this goes way beyond, way back further than the Royal Rumble. This goes all the way back to the day you decided to lace up a pair of boots and become the WCW version of Stone Cold Steve Austin. You got a shiny bald head, a bad attitude, opening a can of whoop ass on any sorry son bitch that stands in your way. Even if it is your boss. Hell, Goldberg, you even stole my damn tights. Next thing you know, he's gonna start walking around with his own protege. But you know what, Goldberg? Guess what? Old Stone Cold here actually did your ass a favor. Since I knew you'd be on Raw tonight, I figured I'd give you a warm-up match before Sunday. And Goldberg, I ain't talking about you when I say a warm-up match." And that's when Rhino's music goes off, as you can honestly probably kind of tell where that was going. Rhino's music goes off as Austin says, I'm going to give you a bit of a warm-up match. Out comes his protege, the former Intercontinental Champion. Of course, that's who he meant when he said, I'm going to give you a bit of a warm-up champ, because the Intercontinental Champion will, or excuse me, the former Intercontinental Champion will be challenging for the Intercontinental Championship at the SummerSlam. What the hell? The Sunday Night Heat Super Show. That's what I meant to say. And his music goes off. Goldberg kind of prepares himself for the arrival of Rhino. He's like, all right, come on. If this is what we're going to do, this is what we're going to do. But instead of Rhino, of course, coming out from the entryway, he comes out from the crowd and from behind, and he attacks Goldberg from behind, catching him off guard, kind of starting the match impromptu, even though the match is supposed to be impromptu itself. He kind of starts the match without Goldberg seeing it as he attacks him from behind, gets an early little bit of a jump on him as we go into our opening match of the night, which will see Goldberg take on Rhino. My nose is running. I don't have any tissues nearby. I'm like looking around. All right. Anyway, Jerry Lawler apparently pretty weak. Did get the show off to a strong start. Got the crowd hot. Goldberg looked good. Stone Cold Steve Austin was good as well. And gained heat for the feud. Good stuff all around. So we jump into our opening match of the night. Gets a 78 solid B rating here. In an exceptional matchup, Goldberg goes over Rhino in 7 minutes 48 seconds with the spear. Apparently there was not enough selling shown. That's a bit unfortunate. But holy shit, Rhino. Announcing quality lifted the match. Goldberg had an in-ring performance of a 96. Rhino with an impressive 91 in-ring performance. But man, that lack of selling definitely hurt the match, because, I mean, look at these guys. A 96 and a 91, but you only got a 78 solid B? How? I mean, timing might have something to do with it, but I gotta see. I gotta see what this is. I mean, these guys were in the 90s. We didn't even get an 80. What the heck? Apparently Goldberg and Rhino both for inconsistency. Probably, booking decisions. I'm assuming that's maybe us keeping Goldberg strong. That might be one thing, but I don't know. I'm also thinking it could be, well, no, because it would say timing. So yeah, I'm assuming the booking decision. I guess I really didn't have to keep Goldberg strong, but heading into Mania, I did want to keep him strong. Lack of selling didn't, and the short match length. So it was a bit short, but I still don't want to over push Goldberg. But this match should have done better. I don't care. I don't think any of that is enough to get it down to a 78B. This match should have been a B+. I don't care, TEW. You screwed me over on this one. And you know you did. Goldberg's improving in its rumbles. But I disagree. I disagree with you on this, TEW. This match should have gotten at least, I'd say an 83 B+. That's what I feel. 78 solid B, that's a bit harsh. 80 solid B as we hype up the fact that later on tonight we will see a rematch from a couple weeks back as Kane, that's gotta be Kane, will take on the man known as Sting in our main event. We then go back to a 81 solid B rating here. Michael Cole backstage with Bradshaw and Test and Albert. All right, hold on, guys. I got to blow my nose. I have perfect timing because right when that happened, I started sneezing. Anyway, so Michael Cole backstage with the three. He starts off by saying, "Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Michael Cole, and joining me now are Bradshaw, Test, and Albert. Guys, coming up next, the three of you will face three of WCW's best in sort of a sneak preview for the Immunity Battle Royal that'll take place this Sunday on the Heat Super Show." And that's when Bradshaw cuts in, and he says, "That's right. And it'll be everyone for themselves this Sunday in that Battle Royal. Doesn't matter if you're WCW or if you're WWF. Hell, even if you're WC or ECW. Jobs will be on the line, and at the end of the day, well, we like to believe that the WWF will walk away as the victor. There is every possibility that WCW could do the same. And having that guaranteed contract would sure save your life. But that's this Sunday. Tonight, we got some WCW ass to kick. Am I right, boys? That's right. Let's go show them." So a quick little promo just hyping up the upcoming six-man tag match. As I mentioned here in the promo, it is kind of a little bit of a promotion for the Immunity Battle Royal. Everybody in this six-man tag match will be in the Battle Royal this Sunday as well. And If you remember in the real Invasion storyline, I believe at Survivor Series they did an immunity battle royal, pretty much with the winner of it getting a guaranteed contract, whether the WWF or WCW win the war. Test won it that year. Not saying Test isn't going to win it this year. I mean, he's in the battle royal as well. But just kind of give you guys a refresher. Maybe you guys can know what we're going on. That's kind of what we're doing here. We're also going to do an immunity battle royal on the Heat Super Show, and whoever wins gets the immunity kind of like tested in real life. And he may in this one too. You never know. Performance of Albert was good. I'm not really sure why. He just kind of stood there, but okay. And it gained heat for the possible breakup of TNA storyline we got going on here. Also, Michael Cole learning to show more charisma. Oh, what? Good job, Michael Cole. All right, moving on. We got a 76 B- for our six-man tag team matchup here. And about that had good wrestling and a decent reaction from the crowd. Team WCW ends up going over as Ron Simmons, Chuck Palumbo, we haven't seen him in a while, and the Giant go over Bradshaw and Test and Albert in 7 minutes 49 seconds when the Giant defeated Test by pinfall with a choke slam after a distraction from Trish Stratus. Also during the match, Daphne came out and I guess kind of distracted Tess, but it was more she attacked at Trish, which distracted Tess. So pretty much the whole premise here is, we got a great six-man tag match going on. We got three of, like they said, WCW's best who really don't get a lot of attention. That's kind of why they're ending up in the Immunity Battle Royal. But the main story of this match, of course, is we're still playing off of, Tess kind of having feelings for Trish. And during the match, of course, Trish being the manager, and she's also the number one contender for the Women's Championship. Daphne comes in through the crowd and attacks her from behind, maybe with the steel chair, or maybe not with the steel chair, maybe with the title belt, maybe with the kendo stick, I'm not sure. Either way, she attacks Stratus from behind, which, of course, distracts Tess long enough as he goes to maybe, check on Trish or whatnot. Or, he turns around, gets hit with a choke slam from the Giant, and Team WCW wins. So the announcing quality helped this matchup. Albert with an in-ring performance of an 83. I'm telling you guys, Albert and Tess they're killing it. Albert with an in-ring performance of an 83. Tess with an 83. The Giant with an in-ring performance of an 89. Only 1 point below 90 there. Come on, big man. Bradshaw with a 75. Ron Simmons with a 78. So Ron Simmons did better than Bradshaw. And Chuck Palumbo with the weakest in-ring performance of the match with a 73. The Daphne and Trish Stratus storyline helped, along with the breakup of TNA. They all advanced here. No worker improvements. So we move forward. And this is one of those pretty much kind of in-between commercial break things. Like we come back from our commercial break, and we kind of go backstage to the this dimly lit room where Daphne's just sitting in the middle of the room, kind of grasping onto her, hugging her title, rocking back and forth, kind of like the crazy person she is. The way I'm booking Daphne is, I'd imagine maybe like Nikki Cross, kind of, but not so goofy, I feel. Like, that's my... If you watch the W versus TEW series at all, that was one of my main complaints about Nikki Cross, is she's such, like... I liked her when she first debuted, but now she's just kind of stupid. Like, she's like a Looney Tune and less of a psychopath. That's what I feel. And I want Daphne to kind of, be more psychopathic than like a Looney Tune. So that's kind of where I'm going with this. Anyway, she's rocking back and forth with a title in her hand, and she starts to, sing the Barbie Girl theme song. I'm a Barbie girl, stuff like that. And she goes, "You're a Barbie girl in Daphne's world. Your life's in danger by this deranged, strange girl. I'll take you by the hair and smash your face everywhere. WrestleMania, there goes your reputation." I don't know. Not the best. Not the best turnaround on the Barbie Girl song. I won't lie. It's not my best work. But I like the idea of Daphne kind of, singing the Barbie Girl song to Trish Stratus, because that's kind of the story I want to do here. Or as I may not have been telling it the best way, but that's kind of the story I'm trying to tell here is, while, yeah, it's for the title, Daphne also looks at Trish kind of like this Barbie girl. She's the perfect girl, the perfect 10. And she wants to break her. She wants to ruin her pretty little face, That's kind of where we're going at here, and that's why I had her sing the Barbie Girl song with her own little take on it, her being in Daphne's world about how she's in danger by this strange little girl. She's gonna smash her face and break her face pretty much. And after WrestleMania, she won't be the pretty girl anymore. There goes her reputation pretty much. So she ends the promo by just looking at the camera, laughing shriekingly in before it, right into it pretty much. So Daphne's getting better at her gimmick. Raven helped her during this segment, even though he really shouldn't have been there. It should have just been Daphne by herself, but that's fine. And it did go ahead and advance the storyline between her and Trish. So moving on, we have a 59 solid C rating here as... What the hell is this? A retroussed nose. Hopefully that doesn't keep him out. But we got a little bit of a special treatment for you guys here as we hired the Blue Meanie. Of course, Nova's already under contract with us. So we got a little bit of a BWO reunion here as the Blue Meanie and Hollywood Nova takes on the Steiner brothers in a solid 59 C-rated C match. Solid 59 C-rated matchup here. We have an extremely short matchup as the Steiner brothers go over the Blue Meanie and Hollywood Nova in 3 minutes 10 seconds after Scott Steiner defeats Hollywood Nova with the Steiner device. Scott Steiner, of course, head and shoulders above everybody else, as we've come to expect. He sustained a retroussed nose. I don't believe that's enough to keep him out, but I'm not really sure what that is. If I remember correctly, I think I looked it up a while back. It's like when your nose is kind of angled upwards. So it'd be interesting to see Scott Steiner with like a nose like that when I think about it. Hey, all you fat asses! Something like... I don't know. You can't see me do it, so it's not as funny. I don't know why I did it. Anyway, he does have the retroussed nose, apparently. Him and Rick have their great chemistry. Of course, we already know about, JR and Jerry Lawler's extremely well chemistry on the announce table. Steiner stood out. Rick Steiner shown in this match. Steiner's did really good, apparently. Rick with an in-ring performance of an 89. Scott with a 99. Hollywood Nova with a 39. And the Blue Meanie with a 37. So, a little bit of a special treat, I guess, as we highlight some favorites, I guess. I don't know. BWO, NWO, kind of interesting there. Yeah, we know about Scott Steiner's retroussed nose. And apparently it was Blue Meanie. Great Blue Meanie. It would be Blue Meanie. Of course it would. If this was real life, too, Blue Meanie probably would have got messed up just as bad as he did on the ECW One Night Stand show by JBL. I can imagine Scott Steiner being extremely pissed about having a retroussed nose right now. I mean, him being the big booty daddy, you can't do that. And I'd imagine Blue Meanie's fat ass got kicked. Come on, Blue Meanie. So they probably got some heat with them now. Solid 90 A rating afterwards as the match is over, but instead of the Steiner's music going off, the Dudley's music plays instead, and out comes Bubba Ray and Devon Dudley, who they come out just kind of sarcastically clapping. They don't really care. Yeah, you beat the Blue World Order. Good for you. And Bubba takes the mic and goes, "Well, congratulations, boys. I bet you feel big and mighty now, don't you? You took out the Blue World Order. So props to you guys. Let's give them all a round of applause, shall we?" So, Devon, Bubba, they start clapping. Scott and them, they're just like, they don't care. They're like, whatever, who cares about these guys? Until finally, of course, Scott goes ahead and cuts them off while they're clapping, and he goes, "The Blue World Order? I thought we were facing you guys. But you'd have to forgive me for confusing them for you. They are a failed ECW team with a fat ass that literally overshadows their partner." And Bubba, he knew it was coming. That's all Scott Steiner says. He calls him a fat ass. Bubba goes, "And here we go with the fat jokes again. Scott, you talk a lot of crap, but you don't do a lot of backing up. Last week I beat your brother's ass. Why don't this week you put up or shut up?" And then Scott goes, "You don't want none of the big booty daddy, but I'll tell you what. The last match was a warm-up, so if you really want to step up..." We got to pull up the handy-dandy notepad for this real quick. "I've got no problem putting your fat ass back on the shelf." And that's when Bubba responds, "You know what, Scott? It's time to put up or shut up. Just don't go crying back to all your freaks after I kick your big booty bitch. Or after I kick your ass, you big booty bitch." I meant to say your ass. I for some reason I missed it. Nonetheless, Bubba tosses the mic down. He rushes down to the ring, and we have ourselves another impromptu matchup. This time between Bubba Ray and Scott Steiner. Two have never fought each other either, so first time ever. gained some heat for the feud. Crowd was hot for it. All right, we jump into the matchup. It gets a 78 solid B rating here. Oh boy. That's interesting. 78 solid B rating here. We have a bout that had great wrestling and a decent reaction from the crowd. Bubba Ray Dudley goes over Scott Steiner in 7 minutes 36 seconds after Scott Steiner got intentionally disqualified. So Bubba's looking good. Might even win this matchup. Scott's not having it. Hits him in the groin probably. I imagine maybe Bubba going for the Bubba Bomb. Scott lifting his leg up and a quick crotch shot right to Bubba Ray Dudley, taking him down. Referee, of course, calls for the bell, and that's where we have it here. We have a little bit of an angle afterwards, so I'll wait till we get into that. We'll have to just jump into what we have here. So Scott Steiner, of course, was unfortunately slowed by his retroussed nose somewhat. Great. Hopefully that's not like stupid long, but knowing my luck, it's going to affect him at the pay-per-view. It's not a pay-per-view, it's Sunday Night Heat, but still. Apparently, Bubba Ray and Devon Dudley are an awkward pairing and have no chemistry whatsoever when Devon is managing Bubba. I love how when, manager or tag team partners can have excellent chemistry when teaming, but have no chemistry when managing. It makes no sense. Scott and Bubba Ray Dudley, on the other hand, have great chemistry, and it showed in their performance. So I'd imagine that this match honestly could have probably had broken, up to a B plus maybe here. Because, of course, with Scott Steiner's injury and the awkward pairing of Bubba and Devon as managers, it definitely held it back. But without those two in there, I think this could have gotten a B plus with them having their chemistry together. Scott Steiner had an in-ring performance of a 90. Bubba Ray Dudley with a 78. Scott's improving in his rumble. Bubba is improving in his performance. And then after the match, 90 solid A rating here as Scott pushes the referee to the side, as the referee's just trying to stop it all. He pushes the referee to the side. He gets on top of Bubba and just continuing to strike him right on top of him, just lefts and rights, right on down to Bubba Ray Dudley. Continuing to strike him over and over again in the forehead with Rick's dog chain. That's what I wanted him to use. Now I remember what it was. It wasn't a groin shot. It was Rick throwing in the dog chain and Bubba getting a stiff shot from Scott from it. And that's kind of why the referee's in his way. And then he pushes him out of the way. He gets on top of him, starts just punching him over and over again with that dog chain wrapped around his fist. Meanwhile, on the outside of the ring, Rick Steiner goes after Devon Dudley, attacking him, tossing him into steel steps, just beating him down until eventually he puts him through the announce table. Kind of, they're having a tables match at the pay-per-view, so kind of a bit of an homage from there. It's going to be a elimination tables match as well. So Devon put through the announce table. I guess he's kind of been eliminated, as you can say. And then back into the ring, we have Scott Steiner, who has the Steiner recliner locked in on Bubba Ray Dudley. He's got the chain in between his mouth too, so he's pulling back on the chain instead of with his arms. Steiner recliner, I believe, is just a camel clutch, basically. I could be wrong in that. I could be thinking of a different move, and the Steiner recliner could be more of a torture rack, but I'm thinking it's more of a camel clutch. But if it's not, that's what I mean, a camel clutch kind of where he's kind of just pulling back on Bubba with the dog chain. We got all these road agents coming out, just pretty much trying to pull him off. Bubba's face is just bloodied. It's dripping down. And, finally, Scott just lets go of him. And Bubba and Devon are just kind of laid out around the ring and in the ring. And the Steiners leave with the WWF Tag Team titles while the Bloodies are just laid out. Or the Dudleys are just laid out. So there you have that. Gain some heat for the feud. Backstage, we get an 87 B+ rating here as we were backstage with Jonathan Coachman, and he's outside the locker room of the WCW Sting. He's hoping to get a word in before Sting, before, of course, his rematch against Kane. And he knocks on the door, and Sting answers the door after a few seconds, and Coach quickly talks. Sting, I was wondering if I can get a few words. Sting, of course, agrees, and he goes, tonight, you faced Kane in a rematch from last week. I don't believe it was last week. I believe I'm wrong there. I think it was a couple weeks back. But anyway, you faced Kane in a rematch. And with that being said, is there any concerns going into your match tonight with it being so close to your match against The Undertaker at WrestleMania? Sting responds by saying, well, Coach, it's funny you say that because for all we know, I may not even be wrestling at Mania. Because we haven't seen or heard from the dead man since I hit him with a thing called the truth. And the truth being that he's not the Phenom anymore. He's just your average, everyday guy who hops on his bike and rides down to the ring, who just so happens to use the name The Undertaker. let's hope that his bike ride in the desert only leaves him with a half-gas tank to get him to the desert. Gotta pull up the handy-dandy notepad. And I want you guys to kind of pay attention to this promo because Sting's kind of taking a shot at The Undertaker in this promo. If you guys remember one of Undertaker's more interesting promos with the Giant, or excuse me, the Big Show back in the day, and something about rattlesnake ties and whatnot, well, just pay attention. So I hope that his bike leaves him a half tank to get to the desert. That way, oh boy, what was I hate when I do this. So he comes that way. That doesn't make no sense. So I'm gonna have to ignore that. Anyway, that way when you come back out of the desert, you come back out with a snake tie and reptile boots on. You come back as the true Undertaker, because I'm coming at my best. Which brings me to tonight and my match with Kane. You see, last time things didn't end the way anyone wanted it to. But Austin's in Georgia. Rhino was taken care of by Goldberg earlier, and I doubt we'll have to worry about the Dead Man. But Dead Man, I hope you're watching, because it's showtime. And I'm going to give you and everyone a sneak preview for this showtime. Woo! And he walks away, getting ready for his match against Kane later on tonight. And I'm going to blow my nose again. Son of a bitch. My nose was fine until I started recording. It's like right when I started recording, it's all like, oh, let's be all stuffy and whatnot all of a sudden. So Sting kind of been cutting a brief little promo on The Undertaker here as he hypes up his match against Kane as well. Of course, last time they had the match, Rhino and Stone Cold got involved. That's kind of why he mentioned that, Rhino's not, he's been taken care of. Austin's gone, so there you have that. But next, 75 B- rating here as Hulk Hogan, Scott Hall, and Kevin Nash, the NWO, are spotted backstage, and they're here. So we have that. And then back from our commercial break, 90 solid A rating here. The screen goes black and white, and the NWO's music hits, and it goes off. Out comes Hulk Hogan, out comes Kevin Nash, out comes Scott Hall. They make their way down to the ring as their attack on The Rock and Triple H plays from last week. And that's, of course, when they also threw Triple H off the stage. Kevin Nash hitting the jackknife powerbomb on Triple H, tossing him off the stage. Once in the ring, they all take the mic. And Scott Hall starts by saying, "Hey, yo." And Nash continues by saying, "Quiet down, people, because we've got something to say. WrestleMania's this Sunday. And you know what? Not enough people are talking about the NWO. It's almost like no one realizes the danger that they're in." And then Hogan continues, "Well, that's okay, brother, because come WrestleMania, the NWO is going to be the added edge to WCW. That's right. You can bet your ass that no matter what, the NWO will make their presence known at WrestleMania. And we're going to ensure that the WCW walks away with the W. And for those of you wondering why would the NWO care about Shane McMahon and the WCW? The answer to that is, well, we don't. We're just doing the job that we're paid for." So Nash dropping a kind of a big deal there. They don't give a damn about WCW. They're just paid to do something, so they're doing it. But while they're out there, talking their shit and, pretty much promising to ruin WrestleMania, that's when the music of Head Chop goes off, of course, that being Al Snow and Funaki, and they interrupt Kevin Nash's Out They Come, and that's when Scott Hall takes the mic himself, and he goes, hold on, let's pull up the handy-dandy notepad here. "Who in the hell are these guys?" Nash goes on the comment saying, "Better question is, why the hell are they out here?" And that's when Al Snow takes the mic. And he says, why, I'm glad you asked, Nash. To clear the air, we are Head Chop, the WWF's premier karate team. And we're not going to stand aside and let you three ruin the biggest night of the year. And what exactly are you two going to do about it, brother? Well, I think it's obvious. We're going to kick your asses. And then that's when you have Hogan, Nash, Hall. They all kind of just laugh out loud in the middle of the ring. They can't believe what Al Snow just said to them. And Nash, trying to hold back his laughter, he goes, "Well, you're welcome to try." And that leads to yet another impromptu match. I guess this is kind of the night of impromptu matches in a way. So we're going to have a little bit of a tag team match in a few seconds. But before we get into that, everyone was off script here. Hulk Hogan worked the crowd well. Scott Hall also did a masterful job improvising. And Al Snow apparently clearly enjoyed the freedom of going off script as well. So all in all, good stuff. The only person who didn't do well, I mean, he didn't do bad either, was Kevin Nash. He just did average. Funaki didn't talk, so he just kind of stood there like, is this guy serious? We're going to take on the NWO? Anyway, Hulk Hogan came out looking excellent. Scott Hall was good. Al Snow apparently performed poorly, and Funaki looked lost out there. Scott Hall developing better performance skills as well as we jump into our impromptu tag team matchup here. Now, I do realize there is kind of a bit of a missed opportunity here. I could have done the NWO versus the BWO, but it didn't make much sense with, the BWO is not a legit team. That's why it wouldn't have made much sense. I mean, Head Chop coming out and pretty much saying, we're going to beat you up because you're not ruining the biggest show of the year. It's because they're WWF guys. Why would the BWO care about that? So, well, like I said, there was an opportunity for that. I just went with Head Chop instead. So we have an extremely short matchup here. 62 solid C rating. The Outsiders, of course, Kevin Nash and Scott Hall, go over Head Chop in 2 minutes 52 seconds after Kevin Nash defeats Funaki with Snake Eyes. Really? The move where he just tosses him and he hits his face on the turnbuckle? Alright then. Okay. It's an interesting way to end the match. Not a jackknife? Okay. Funaki was the weak link, struggling to keep up with everyone else's in-ring performances. Hiccups, don't kill me now, please. Scott Hall seemed off his game. Hopefully that doesn't mean he was drunk or something. Funaki with an in-ring performance of a 54. Al Snow with a 65. Scott Hall, despite being off his game and maybe on the drugs, had an in-ring performance of an 80. That's damn good. Did better than Kevin Nash, who wasn't off his game and wasn't on drugs most likely, with a 77 in-ring performance. I shouldn't say Kevin Nash wasn't on drugs. There's always a possibility he might be. But Scott Hall, good performance. And he was on drugs. Of course he was. I mean, that's still a good performance for being on drugs. I mean, an 80 in-ring performance, Scott Hall could do way better than that apparently. But, yeah. Sorry about that. Had a quick little interruption there. Sorry about the brief silence there, or the muting of the mic. But anyway, yeah. Scott Hall, under drugs, somehow still gets himself an in-ring performance of an 80. Not sure how that happened, but fucking A, Scott Hall. I knew this was going to be an issue. We just kind of got to write it out until after WrestleMania. That's all I need. Just after WrestleMania, just need to write it. Once Mania comes, I can suspend his ass, or I'll send his ass to rehab. But come on, Scott. What are you doing? Oh, Scott. What were you on? Hard drugs and marijuana? Why didn't you just go ahead and be drunk too? I should have warned you guys, by the way. Should have warned you guys about this next angle. I was too busy with Scott Hall being on his drugs to think about it. But if you don't want to be spoiled, now would have been the time to click off. But it might be a little too late here. 89, solid A rating here. As the match is over, the NWO goes ahead and takes full advantage of their fallen opponents, continuing to beat down on both Al Snow and Funaki before spray painting the NWO on their backs and all that. Typical NWO stuff. That is when they are interrupted by Triple H, who appears on the Titantron. So not only is tonight the night of impromptu matches, it's also the night of surprise appearances on the Titantron, because we have another one to come later on still. Anyway, Triple H appears on the Titantron. He's kind of just sitting somewhere, I don't know, somewhere nice looking. Stephanie's there as well. And Triple H goes on to stalk and he goes, "Hey guys, when you're done with your childish games, I've got something to say to you three idiots. I'll admit last week you got one up on me. You took me out. But it just so happens you didn't finish the job. You say you're going to invade WrestleMania? Not if there's anything I can say about it. Because you see, this isn't You see, this isn't about you attacking my father-in-law anymore, and this sure as hell isn't about the WWF. You guys made it personal last week, and I'm going to end it. Which is why at WrestleMania, I don't care about the numbers. I'll take all 3 of you on if I have to. But I don't. Because I'll be bringing backup this time. And if you're not down with that... And that's when the camera slowly starts to zoom out. And yeah, Stephanie's there with Triple H. But not only is Triple H and Stephanie there, sitting right next to Triple H is none other than the Heartbreak Kid himself, Shawn Michaels, baby. Making his much anticipated return, shocking the world as he sits next to Triple H and he goes, "We got 2 words for you." And I'll bring up the handy-dandy notepad, even though it really doesn't matter because I know what Triple H is going to say next. "We got 2 words for you," Shawn Michaels says, and Triple H just looks at the camera and he goes, "WrestleMania." And there you have it. The challenge has been made. Shawn Michaels is back. Triple H has been saying he's going to be bringing back up, and he's bringing back up, as at WrestleMania we'll have quite possibly a 3-on-1 handicap match as Triple H and Shawn Michaels will face the NWO. What the hell? How, Jim? How? Shawn Michaels debuts his show stealer gimmick and only gets a below average on it? Are you kidding me? What a joke. Apparently deserved better color commentary. Triple H was good. Hulk Hogan was good apparently as well. Gained heat for the NWO versus Triple H feud, which we can now change to DX versus NWO. No worker improvements here. We move on to the next segment here. 72 B- rating here, as Kane just kind of stands backstage looking all menacingly and whatnot. He's just really standing there. Nothing special for Kane. And then, of course, the WCW World Champion Sting starts to walk towards the entryway as we're getting ready for our main event of the night. And it is main event time. And good God, why do you guys not produce good ratings? Like, it was a well-booked match. Well, Kane was penalized for holding back. Sting was penalized for holding back. Well, stop holding back, guys. Sting's, declining physical ability, odd heel and face, apparently short match length as well. But still, 75 B-? Are you kidding me? Come on! What the fuck, man? TEW screwed me over here tonight. They screwed me over on my opening match of Goldberg and Rhino. That should have been a B+. They screwed me over with Kane and Sting. This should have been a B+. What the fuck, TEW? Why do you insist on screwing me? Kane had an in-ring performance of an 87. Sting had an in-ring performance of a 79. How the hell do we get a 75? You can't tell me because of just a little short, because Sting's declining a little bit, that it does. This pisses me off, man. TEW, you ruined me tonight. You screwed me. My matches should have gotten way better than these ratings. I should have had an A rating with the Bubba Ray thing, but for some reason him and Devon have horrible chemistry as managers. You're screwing me, TEW, and then Blue Meanie wants to break Scott Steiner's nose somehow. Ooh, I'm not happy. Anyway, we have a superb match, apparently. No, it's not. It's a 75 B-. Superb match, my ass. In a superb matchup here, Sting goes over Kane in 9 minutes, 46 seconds. Dumb. Sting with an in-ring performance of an 87. Or, excuse me, I mixed those up. Kane with an in-ring performance of an 87. Sting with a 79. Sting, you need to step up those numbers, man. I know you're old, but you need to step them up. WrestleMania, man. Kane is improving in his technical skills. All in all, good stuff there. And then we end off the night with a 100 A-star rating here. As the match is over, Sting is celebrating with the crowd. And we're having a good old time as he's about to send home the crowd happy. And that's when the toll of a bell goes off. The whole bong. The lights start to go dim. Smoke starts to fill up the arena until a lightning bolt just boom strikes the stage. And a man is shown digging a hole as he he's shown digging a hole in Titantron, and as he begins to speak, we learn that it's The Undertaker. Of course it is. And Taker begins to speak, and he goes, "A decade of destruction. For over 10 years, I have been the backbone of this company.
While other men have come and gone, I have always been, much like you, Sting. While I held this company up on my shoulders, you led the war in WCW against the likes of the Dungeon of Doom, the Four Horsemen, and the NWO. It's only appropriate that you lead the war against the WWF as well. But unlike Kevin Sullivan and his goons, you face a force that can't be stopped. Unlike Ric Flair and his horsemen, I lead a much dangerous pack of wolves. And unlike Hulk Hogan and his ever-growing NWO, I demand a much greater presence. But I had gone and to rest in peace, until you yourself, Sting, called upon me and raised me from the dead. And for that... Hold on, we gotta pull up the handy-dandy notepad. Mind you, by the way, I don't know if I said it, but this entire time, Taker is still digging the hole. But anyway, and for that, I thank you. But... And he shoves the shovel hard into the ground, so the shovel's just kind of standing there. He turns around and looks in the camera. We can't really see him all that well because it is dark, but, you know, we can see the Undertaker, so... It's very dark, so you can't really see how he's looking, if he's looking like the Dead Man or the American Badass or whatnot. He goes on to say, "You best be careful for what you wish for, Vigilante, because this may be your war to lead, but it's my war to end. And at WrestleMania, you enter Hell's Coliseum, the arena that I've never been beaten in. And at WrestleMania, you won't be getting the Dead Man of old. At WrestleMania, you won't be getting the American Badass. At WrestleMania, you'll be meeting the Reaper that rides. And despite all your confidence, I will bury you and your army 6 feet under. And World Championship Wrestling can finally rest in peace." And Taker's music probably goes off. Maybe even it starts raining in the arena while Sting just kind of stands there like, what the hell did I just get myself into? And we end off Monday Night Raw with The Undertaker's cold words, pretty much. Before we end off Raw, though, we got a couple things here. Of course, Austin passing psychology on to Rhino, and Paul Bearer being brought to Wrestler's Court after leaving a mess in the locker room and not cleaning it up. Judge Rock found him guilty, made him clean up the locker room, and Bear's behavior improved. So, good stuff all together. A lot of stuff happening here tonight. I mean, we got the Immunity Battle Royal happening, Triple H challenging the NWO at WrestleMania, and the return of Shawn Michaels as well. Undertaker coming back, possibly, you know, the Reaper Rider. A lot of stuff happening here tonight. And then TEW screwing me over in my matches. I won't forgive you for that, TEW. Nonetheless, though, Jerry Lawler pretty weak here. Deserve better commentary. Sting and Undertaker storyline advancing. And we go ahead and end off the show, and we get ourselves an 88B+ rating. Not gonna lie, I kind of wanted this to break an A. I have the full confidence that it would have broken an A if Rhino and Goldberg and Sting and Kane would have delivered. But they didn't. No, they didn't. Did you? You didn't. You sons of bitches. Anyway, 88B+, not too shabby. No specific comments to be made about the show, unfortunately. I still think that this should have gotten an A, though. I mean, come on. Shawn Michaels returned. That alone should have given it an A, but he got a below average on a show stealer gimmick. They screwed me over hard with those matches. And the below average on Shawn Michaels show stealer gimmick? Are you fucking kidding me? Some bullshit there, I'll tell you that much. Whatever. What is this? Lethal entered a contest held by Jersey All Pro Wrestling, which entitled the winner to 6 months free training in G. What? Wow, that's awesome. I didn't know that. Good for you, Jay Lethal. So, fantastic reviews for Raw. Scott Steiner injured, not serious enough to take him off TV. I am curious, though. I want to see if he hates... Yeah, simmering tension with the Blue Meanie now. I figured so. We apparently got a new champion in OVW. I guess OVW held a show last night, so it was called Culture Shock #1. Apparently Finley was said to be the star of the show, so we'll have to check that out before we end off this as well. Apparently Chemo's rising as well. Good for you, Chemo. Anyway, let's see what we got. OVW Culture Shock got a 48 D+ rating here. First match of the night, Ricky Banderas goes over Damien with a 29 solid E rating here. We then move on to a 40 D- as BJ Payne, that's you, right? Yeah, BJ Payne and Flash Flanagan. Hold on. It's you! Excuse me. I feel another one coming. It's you! Oh my god, I hate sneezing. They go over the team of Ron Waterman and Maven after countout. We then move on to a Women's Championship matchup. 31 E+ rating. Taylor Maffney defeats Mickie James to retain her OVW Women's Championship. Good for her. We then move on to a 39 D- rating here as we have our title change. Trailer Park Trash goes over John Cena, of all people, to become the OVW Hardcore Champion. And then we move on to a 41 solid D rating here as, really? You beat Leviathan? That shocks me. Bull Buchanan retains his OVW Heavyweight Championship against, well, Batista, a.k.a. the Leviathan. Would have thought Batista would have won that. And then we end off the night with a 52 D+ rating here. This is interesting because technically you two should be teams, but you're not. But anyway, the team of Monty Brown and Rob Conway go over to the team of Fit Finley and Mark Henry with a 52 D+ rating here. And there you have it. That is OVW show. Random show that they decided to do. All right. IWPR had made a contract offer to Julio Estrada. Okay. Oh yeah, that we were thinking about using Goldberg last night, but again, decided to not do it. So, also we did use Blue Meanie, Scott Steiner with True Snows. Al Snow was very unhappy that Scott Hall was wasted on drugs. We know. He was the only one though. Funaki and no one else really cared. Goldberg says that the one Billy Gunn doesn't connect with the fans. We should probably write him off. I'd have to agree. And Kevin Nash says Devon Dudley doesn't connect with the fans. Interesting. Taking a shot at Devon, huh? All right, Scott. Yeah, you're on hard drugs. As much as I want to suspend your ass, I can't. So we're going to fine you. Oh boy, everyone's going to be unhappy because we fined him. So guess what? Everyone's about to be even more unhappy because guess what? We're fining your ass again. And as soon as I can, we're suspending your ass. And Kevin Nash apparently is a soft drug user, so we're going to fine him as well. Kevin Nash isn't mad about that. All right, how many people are upset? Sandman and Scott Hall. Well, Scott, I don't care. I don't care about you being upset, so be upset. Anyway, that is going to be the end of this video. I hope you guys have enjoyed. If you have, do me a favor, leave me a comment, like, subscribe if you haven't already. And as always, my name has been OMG WTF LOLFTW BRB. I will see you guys for Nitro and the rest of the week of WrestleMania, so I'll see you tomorrow for Tuesday as well. And as always, I will see you guys in the next video, so have a good one.